made them 15 minutes ago, man. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't do me like that. I didn't understand, but I do now. What? It's all good, man. All right. Cool. I know. Predominantly, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, that one landing at White Sands was on STS-3, the third space shuttle mission. Long story short, what happened is they were planning for a landing at Edwards, right? And if anybody was around that's watching the stream that was competent in 1983 and lived in California, you know there was a lot of rain that year. A lot of flooding in California in 1983. The Hoover Dam, which is not in California, I understand. The Hoover Dam, Lake Mead actually, filled all the way up. The flooding was so bad that the dry lake bed that the shuttle was supposed to land on, well, wasn't so dry. And landing the shuttle in a lake is probably not a good idea. So, this happened actually while the shuttle was up on orbit. Interestingly enough. So they changed the landing site right at the end of the mission, and they delayed entry, descent, and landing on STS-3 by a day and shipped NASA's entire recovery facility, Space Shuttle Recovery and Processing Team, to New Mexico. And it took probably maybe 3 or 4 days. They set up an entire shuttle receiving facility at Northrop Strip, in the White Sands Missile Range. Yeah. It was really cool. They contracted Union Pacific to move all the equipment because a train was the best way to move the entire circus of equipment, like a circus train. Yeah. NASA was they went to Union Pacific and they were like, hey guys, we got to move about 1,000 tons worth of processing equipment a third of the way across the country. Is that cool? And Union Pacific's yeah, that's cool. It's basically what we do every day. Sometimes twice a day. And they're like, all right, cool. Yeah, Union Pacific was like, we can handle it. And they did. Yep, they moved all the recovery vehicles out to White Sands to receive Columbia on STS-3. That's the only time the shuttle landed there. You know why it was the only time the shuttle landing there? You know why that was the only time the shuttle ever landed there? Is because White Sands is a gypsum field. They landed on gypsum instead of on a dry lake bed, right? Now, don't get me wrong, the dry lake bed at Edwards is gypsum as well, but White Sands is a little more. And all of that caked the inside of the orbiter. Yeah. That was not good for it. Really not good for it. Yeah. Was it Union Pacific or Southern Pacific? Oh, now you confused me. I can't. Hold on.
Go and drop
There's a documentary that talks about this. It's one of the infomercials that or the NASA archival footage that I used to show.
Okay, and the port restraint is out. Here comes the spin. Here goes.
Yeah, we see it down here, Bill. It's beautiful.
Okay, Mike, we're at 52, coming back down to 51 RPM.
What was the turnaround for a shuttle mission?
Roger,
Depends.
we copy. You guys look good.
What point in the program?
And Columbia, Houston, everyone down here is go for deploy with 2 minutes left over Hawaii.
And so is everyone up here.
Roger, we copy.
It's mostly because I want to play KSP1, Rob.
Discovery, go and drop up. Mike, we hope the TV comes out. It doesn't play back very well on a monitor, but we're relatively sure we got it. And we, by the way, still have that beautiful satellite
RJ.
inside. It's traveling just below it.
Roger, we copy Bill and Joe, and
It is
got a
Elvis.
lot of happy people down here. You guys did good work.
Okay, Mike, we delivered. We got SBS off on time. And if you're interested, I'll read you the pad.
Roger, go ahead.
It's a great documentary. They talk about it over here. Give me 1 second. Actually, you know what? It wasn't We Deliver. Hold on. It's Opening New Frontiers. Hold on. Another good one here. Let's right here.
In the early days of our republic, Americans watched Yankee clippers glide across the many oceans of the world, manned by proud and energetic individuals, showing our flag, breaking records for time and distance,
The shuttle doesn't cost 1.5 billion, Rob.
opening up new vistas of commerce and communications. Well, today, I think you have helped recreate the anticipation and excitement felt in those home ports as those gallant ships were spotted on the horizon.
I don't know what's wrong with the audio here. I know enough about audio to know that something is wrong with it, but I don't know enough about audio to know exactly what is wrong with it. But it's definitely weird.
Heading in after a long voyage. The fourth landing of the Columbia is the historical
It's out of
equivalent
phase.
to the driving of the Golden Spike, which completed the first transcontinental railroad. It marks our entrance into a new era. The test flights are over. The groundwork has been laid. And now we will move forward to capitalize on the tremendous potential.
The high and the low is out of phase. You're absolutely right, Bass. Yeah, I can hear it. It's definitely out of phase. That's why it sounds echoey. That's why there's reverb.
Offered by the ultimate frontier of space.
All right, here. It's over here somewhere. Where are you? I'm trying to find it. Give me one moment. I know it's in this documentary somewhere. Let's skip over here.
Successfully in all operating modes. Preliminary thermal test of the vehicle. Individual satellites on using the plasma diagnostics package. 7 computer-controlled automatic movements of the
Oh, that's not the whole documentary. Hold on. That's why I couldn't find it. That's half of it. Let's go down here. I think this YouTube video is...
I think you have helped
no.
recreate
No.
the anticipation and
Better than
excitement felt in those home ports as those gallant ships were spotted on the horizon heading in after a long voyage. The fourth landing of the Columbia is the historical equivalent to the driving of the Golden Spike, which completed the first transcontinental railroad. It marks our entrance into a new era.
Ronald Reagan? The actor?
Two of the most significant events were not planned.
There's
Just
the
prior
train.
to the third launch, tons of landing and recovery equipment had to be transported from California to New Mexico, a 1,000-mile journey, because heavy rains in California
Well, that's Santa Fe right there. Those are Santa Fe locomotives.
prevented a landing there. An entire encampment had to be built at the New Mexico landing site, Northrop Strip,
Yeah.
and the task had to be completed within 4 days.
It's not BNSF, Stewart. It's just Santa Fe. This was before Santa Fe merged with Burlington Northern, making BNSF. Oh, yeah? There you go.
Just prior to landing on the same mission, only 1.5 hours before touchdown, an unexpected sandstorm blew into the area.
See all the gypsum?
As you could probably surmise, the winds have been coming up all day. It was still...
Also, this documentary is killer, by the way. So, you were talking about flight rate, Jackal. What was the flight rate pre-Challenger? In 1985, they launched the shuttle 9 times. 1986 on the manifest, they were aiming for 24 launches. So how fast can the shuttle be turned around? I'd say peak processing flow, taking into account 24 launches, 4 orbiters, you probably get it down to a month. But that's pre-Challenger. 9 times in 1985. Challenger, not a lot of people know. Challenger, January 28th, 1986. A shuttle mission had already flown in 1986. Yeah. There was a mission that flew in the middle of January. Challenger was at the end of January because they were trying to get 2 launches done in January. Probably should have waited till February, but hey, whatever. But yeah, they were aiming for 2 shuttle launches a month, which is a shuttle launch every 2 weeks, which 24, like, think about it here. So you have 24 launches, you have 4 orbiters, that's 6 turnarounds per, so 6 turnarounds per year for an orbiter, so that's 1 to 2 months at best. Like, taking into account processing flow. That's why they built 4 orbiters, so the shuttle could handle a high flight rate, because it did take some time to turn the orbiter around. But what NASA was thinking at the time is that the more you fly the thing, the more you fly it, the more you're going to learn and understand how to turn it around faster. Another company with a rocket that we just saw launch did the same thing with Falcon 9, and that's why Falcon 9 can seemingly launch so much. That, and you have a slew of boosters to fly, right? Yeah, Bill. I really wish we'd do not. I really wish we did. We still do cool stuff, but I wish we did more cool stuff like this. There's a really awesome shot in this documentary that's right here.
Flights.
I want to show you guys while we're here.
314 revolutions around the Earth. 19 days on orbit.
That's awesome.
But beyond the statistics, a far more important goal was achieved with completion of the orbital flight test program.
Look at that.
The foundation for our future was built, step by step, mission by mission. The goal of STS-1 was, quite simply, to get up
for sure.
and get down safely.
According to Wiki, with 135 mission and a total cost of $192 billion in 2010 dollars, this gives approximately a $1.5 billion per launch over the life of the shuttle. So, Rob, you just read the Wiki page, and that's it, huh? The shuttle doesn't cost $1.5 billion to launch, but technically it does. But it doesn't. Now, Rob, when you compare it to something like Falcon 9, which is $70 million a launch, the price tag is seemingly incomparable. Like, why would you do that, right? Why would you ever use the shuttle? The thing about it is that, well, with the space shuttle, what you're getting there is a figured launch price based off of the total cost involved on the entire program. So long story short, when NASA is compounding a cost, when they're trying to figure out how much it's going to cost. So first of all, you've heard me talk about this. You should do that kind of after you've flown it a bunch of times. Because figuring out the cost per unit of a thing that you haven't launched is kind of funny to me. Like trying to do it before you actually do it is something I think is kind of silly, but what are you going to do? So those numbers and prices are total cost involved. So that cost is keeping the lights on in the VAB that you use to build the shuttle stack. Maintenance for the vehicle assembly building that the shuttle is built inside. Maintenance for the pad, maintenance for the crawlerways, maintenance for all the facilities that you need to make the shuttle launch. It's what's called total cost involved, or TCI in economics. So think about it like this. I'm going to build a house, right? What do you need to build a house? You need wood or bricks, whatever. You need a building material. You need pipes. You need electricity. You need ducting for HVAC and all the equipment to run all that stuff, right? Do you look at the total cost of your building materials and say, yep, that's how much my house costs to make? Nope. You look at the total cost of everything. And then on top of that, labor costs. Did you build it? In which case you have no labor costs. You pay in time. Or did you pay somebody to make your house, right? If you did, now you're taking into account labor costs. So on top of material costs, you have labor costs on top of that. That's what total cost involved means. And that's why the shuttle seemingly carries such a high price per launch. Now, the funny thing is that compounding 135 launches over the total cost of the program, over the total amount of money spent for the entire program is kind of silly, because the space shuttle launched at different flight rates over the course of the program. I mean, that's kind of like we're talking calculus, and whoever wrote that on Wikipedia, is doing addition when we're talking about calculus, but even if we take that figure into account, it's the total cost involved per mission. Anything from making sure that the facilities are clean, paying the janitor to clean the facilities where you build the damn thing, all the way up to the astronauts' payment themselves. That's what total cost involved means. That's why the shuttle carries such a seemingly high price comparatively to Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is a commercial vehicle. You're not getting total cost involved. You're getting the price point that SpaceX has deemed that is competitive in the market. And it's most likely operating at a loss, if I had to guess. Basically, if it costs $90 million to build a Falcon 9, SpaceX is selling them for $70 million, so everybody goes to them. Now, keep in mind, there's no unit price on a launch vehicle. Launch services are contractual, so they're a la carte. The price can vary depending on the difficulty of the mission. So, for instance, if you have a Dragon on board with people on it, that's probably going to cost more than just a satellite that goes up into space, right? You forgot the cost of buying the trucks to transport the vehicles. Yeah, sure. That's not... yeah, I suppose that's pertinent in some way, shape, or form, but I think I mentioned it enough to get the point across. Thank you. So SpaceX is probably, you're seeing the price of what their selling price, right? The selling price doesn't necessarily mean that it costs $70 million to make a Falcon 9. That's not total cost involved. SpaceX wouldn't give you total cost involved because A, they would never make any money, and B, it wouldn't be a competitive price point. Now, the idea is that if you're selling each vehicle at a loss, SpaceX can incur that because it's reusable. You get the first stage back, right? No big deal. And then you can just keep reusing the stages, and you can lower launch costs that way. But the thing is that SpaceX hasn't done that. Falcon 9 is still $70 million a launch. Think about this for a second. If they're charging $70 million to launch on a Falcon 9, or $60 million, or $50 million, or $40 million, and you're reusing a stage and you're reusing fairings, theoretically the price should just be like $40 million, $20 million maybe, because you're only paying for a new second stage in avionics, right? Everything else is back. But SpaceX still doesn't do that. That's how they make money. I mean, the most revenue is generated from Starlink. But the point is that saying Falcon 9 costs $70 million. Well, first of all, no, it doesn't. Second of all, that's a competitive price point. Third of all, NASA's total cost involved. So you're seeing the whole price. If you want to compare Falcon 9 to the space shuttle, right? If you want to do that, that's totally okay, right? We can do that. But you have to adjust the costs a little bit. So if we're going to cost stack for stack, how much does it cost to make a Falcon 9? Let's say that price point that SpaceX sells Falcon 9s at is how much it costs to make a first, second stage payload, fairings, etc. Say that is how much it costs. If you went into the records from the shuttle program and compounded the same cost, the average stack price for the space shuttle comes out to about $400 million. $400 million. Yeah, I know. Some of you already noticed it. $400 million is definitely a lot more than $70 million. So, EJ, I'm not really sure what argument you're trying to make. Well, if you compare the total capability of the space shuttle, basically meaning it can move 7 people into space and 25 metric tons of cargo, plus 12 tons of down mass cargo, rendezvous proximity operations, docking capability, on-orbit satellite maintenance, and a la carte services for what the payload, like in the payload bay, meaning space lab modules, power, propulsion, whatever you're trying to launch. If you stack that capability up against Falcon 9 and try to make Falcon 9 equate out to the same capability as the shuttle, the price is basically not that much less. Yeah. The abrasion on the palm of your left hand indicates the type wants to stay and fall from 3 to 5 feet. Piece of plaster on your shoe. Careless Mason being the culprit. Sorry. So think about it like this. Falcon 9 can do, reusing the first stage, Falcon 9 can do, I don't know, 12 to 15 tons. So you'd need 2 cargo Falcon 9s with booster RTLS, right? Or drone ship landing. I mean, if you do drone ship landing, you need 1 cargo Falcon 9. But now we need, to equate to the same amount of crew that shuttle could take, you need 2 Dragons. Now, if you go in and look at NASA's commercial crew program, you can see how much it costs to launch people into space. Because NASA has to tell you their cost, just like they have to tell you the cost of the space shuttle. If you go and look at the prices negotiated for CRS-2, commercial crew services, not CRS-2, the commercial crew program, contracted flights for crew operations for getting 4 NASA astronauts to the ISS is about $150 million per launch, give or take. Last time I checked, pretty sure that price hasn't changed. So now you need 2 Dragons at $150 million a pop, plus another $70 million for a cargo Falcon 9. $150 plus $150 is $300 plus another 70 is $370 million. Shuttle stack costs $400 million. And with the shuttle stack, you get your second stage engines back. Just saying. So it's kind of a little bit of a logic trap to be able to say, oh, the shuttle is ridiculous. It costs $1.5 billion a launch. No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. That's the total cost involved. Comparing total cost involved to a per unit price is like comparing feet to meters. Oh yeah, 1 foot equals 1 meter, right? No, it does not. No, that's absolutely incorrect. Your unit of measurement is completely different. That makes sense? You saw your first rocket launch and landing day in person. Pretty sweet. Flight got in at 2 and I made it to Titusville. All right, man. That was a great RTLS. Hey, Warrens, what's going on? The cost of building a grocery store versus buying a loaf of bread. There you go. Anyway, Kerbal time? Does that make sense, buddy? Happy to be back. I was gonna say, where have you been, man? Kerbal. Turn the music down. Turn that down. Get the music going. All right. So, I've been working, man. Move out, and now you're renting alone. Nice. Good for you, man. Did you notice that the sound suppression system was late off of AX2? It didn't look late to me, Panta. No, I wasn't making the case where the shuttle looks bad, but still, reusable Falcon 9 is cutting costs, so it should be more cost effective compared to shuttle from the 70s. I literally just explained to you that it's not, though. I cited specific sources and showed you that that's not exactly true. All right, Antares, have a good night. I just said that. Moving on. All right, cool. Let's try to see if we can make a system to pick this thing up. I think I got an idea for how I want to do this. So this is my 5th generation space shuttle, CTS-5. We'll mess. I don't have the name up for this one. It just says EJ on it. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So let's see here. How are we gonna do this? The numbers are close. I got you. Now, Rob, I mean, yeah, okay, cool. The interesting thing to me is that if the shuttle had scaled, which they wanted to do, they wanted to get up to 72 missions a year with the shuttle, basically launching the shuttle once a week, right? They wanted to do that. That would have been, well, actually, that would be 48 missions a year. Dude, that would be fantastic. 48 missions a year for the shuttle. I guarantee you, if they had gotten to that point, they were scaling to it, and then Challenger happened, which blows. If they had scaled to 48 missions a year, I guarantee you, the shuttle would quite literally wipe its behind, its aft orbiter segment with Falcon 9. It would mop the floor with it in terms of capability. Because remember, we're comparing the shuttle costs at 4 flights a year, right? Total compounded cost. Mean flight of the space shuttle over the course of the entire program was 3 to 4 flights a year. If you look at all the different years and all the different times they launched the shuttle, it basically comes out to about 4 times a year average, give or take. Give or take. It's probably closer to 3, but no matter. If the shuttle launched 48 times a year, that's 48 times 25 tons of pops, seven souls per flight. There's no way Falcon 9 would be able to compete. Not even close. All you have to do is just keep making new external tanks. Just like Falcon 9 has to keep making second stages. I'm telling you, Falcon 9 took a page out of what the space shuttle wanted to do. Because technically, the space shuttle's partially reusable too. You lose the external tank every time. Falcon 9 loses its second stage every time. So eventually, you make enough solid rocket boosters and you make enough orbiters where all you got to do is just keep building external tanks, And you'll always have an orbiter and some SRB segments ready to go. That's the reason why they recovered the SRBs. Truck is fixed. Careful of the sound. Diesel noises. All right. Check your DM for a photo I think you'll like of truck. Well, you linked a truck thing and Sawyer linked a truck thing at the same time, which is pretty sweet. Yeah. 60? 59, 60, or 61, I'm not sure. Either way, very nice. Very nice. All right, Sawyer, what did you link up? Headphone users with this. Headphone users. Headphone users, be careful. This could be loud, so I'm gonna turn it down. Just maybe. Yeah, it's not too bad. Very nice. How did they lift the shuttle? Bracket. T-man. Shuttle's external tank is simpler. Way simpler. Yeah, way simpler than Falcon 9 second stage. Falcon 9 second stage has an engine attached to it. It's more complicated, even though the tank is way bigger. Is that a 65? That looks to be a little bit earlier, but then again, I don't know my Chevy trucks from the 60s as well as my Fords because I don't really care. But yeah, no, nice truck either way. Sawyer, also nice. I'm glad you got it fixed, dude. Hey, SpaceX, what's going on? I see the space shuttle is back. Yeah. Yeah, man. Le Gasp. Ooh, a flying brick. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, this thing would have wiped its behind, wiped its aft orbiter segment, competing with Falcon 9. It's not even close. The shuttle offers way more capability per launch. Off-topic question, but do you know what car number Scary will be in for the 24? Wright Motorsports, the number 120 Porsche. You're a flying brick. Ugh. Okay, I gotta get some rest for work. Just wanted to show you that a friend sent later. Tell him it's stupid and you should buy a Ford. Good night. I've been playing RP1 all day. It bankrupted your space agency. Oh boy. Cool, thanks. Making a list of all the cars I need to watch during the race. I'll add it. Alright. I want to see if we can build something to lift this. Okay? First on race day, Erev. Thank you very much. Those front thrusters, what are they called again? Reaction control systems. So in what way is Falcon 9 better than the shuttle? In what way is Falcon 9 better than the shuttle? I can think of one. It flies. That hurt to say, but yeah, that helps a lot. That's a big one. That's a big one. That's a big one. It flies and the shuttle doesn't. I hate that. I hate admitting that, but that's kind of a big one. What Falcon 9 has going for it, and part of the reason why SpaceX has been able to scale it and ramp up in seemingly 4 years. I mean, the shuttle probably would have taken much more to ramp up to 48 flights a year than a couple of years, right? SpaceX was launching, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 times, 2018, 2019. Since the pandemic, SpaceX has upped it exponentially. They launched 96 times last year. Rob, the shuttle launching 96 times in 1 year is I doubt it. And that's, as one of the biggest advocates of the space transportation system, that is highly unlikely. It's just not going to happen. You would need an insane industrial base to do something like that. Could you do it? Maybe. What did you think of the Axiom launch? It was amazing, dude. It was great. The stiffener ring didn't come off the second stage, though. So in that regard, Rob, what Falcon 9 has going for it is that it's way simpler of a vehicle. Way simpler. Not even close. Not even close in terms of complexity to the space shuttle. But that's the trade-offs. Shuttle's a more complicated system, but the shuttle can do more. Rob, the point that I was trying to illustrate to you a little bit earlier is that cost scales with capability. If your rocket does more, it's usually going to be more expensive, even if you employ it in mass. Now, that's not to say that Falcon 9 is not a capable vehicle. Falcon 9's simplicity allows it to be able to do more. We were talking about stretching the flight envelope earlier during the Axiom mission, right? But if you employed the shuttle in mass, the dollars per kilogram amount would be just as comparable and competitive. It would be competitive with Falcon 9, despite it being a much more complicated vehicle. Now, the interesting thing is that would you need to spend more money to get the shuttle program to fly 48 times a year? Yes. Would that be more than what SpaceX invested in Falcon 9 to get it to the point where it can fly 96 times a year? Yeah, probably. It's a more complicated vehicle. But in terms of dollar per kilogram launch at per unit price, it's actually pretty comparable. Shuttle still does come out being a little bit more expensive. Even comparing a unit cost, taking into account the shuttle launching 3 to 4 times a year. It still is comparable to Falcon 9, which is insane to me. But it is more expensive. But if you think about what a shuttle does in one launch, for not being that much more expensive on a per unit cost, taking into account mean average of launch throughout the 30-year tenure of the program, it's pretty damn impressive. It's a pretty damn impressive vehicle. Do you think a shuttle-style ship would ever come back? No. Are you thinking at a fleet of at least 8 to 12 orbiters? That's what you'd need, Victory, to get that done. You would need. Well, let me think about this one. You would need 8 orbiters. You would need 8 space shuttles to be able to handle. Well, let's think about this for a second. They wanted to scale, with 4 orbiters, they wanted to scale to 24 launches. That's what they were trying to do. That's where the shuttle was going. That's where it would have gone in 86, in 87. They would have done... They were going to try to get 24 launches in 1986, and they were going to try to get 48 launches in 1987. So, that tells me that they're not going to build an orbiter in a year. Right? They're not going to. So that means that somehow the space shuttle's processing flow could handle, with 4 orbiters, 2 orbiter processing facilities, 2 high bays, and 2 launch pads with 3 mobile launchers, the shuttle program would somehow manage to be able to do 48 launches. Taking into account a 1-month turnaround time on the vehicle, and provided you every one of those 48 payloads that you launch was ready on time, which is highly unlikely. Yeah, you'd have Challenger, Columbia, Discovery, Atlantis. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and 1 month turnaround. You just do it again. You could scale the 48. Yeah, it's doable. That would require a Herculean effort. But getting Falcon 9 to where it's at right now also requires a Herculean effort. So, once a week, Aldesert. That's what it was designed to do. Oh, yeah. Why do you think the shuttle's life support systems only lasted a week? Because that's how long it was designed to be in space. Because it wasn't supposed to be up there for more than a week. That's why it only has enough life support for 5-6 days. Unless you plug it into the station, in which case it could stay up for maybe a little bit longer, but not much longer. 48-week turnaround is a really liberal estimate. Well, that's what they wanted to do, man. Why did they cut the program? Challenger. The Air Force, the Department of Defense pulled out of the shuttle program in 1986 after Challenger. Yeah, sucks. What are you going to do? And once the DoD pulled out, all the money and funding that came with that also left. And from there, it was just budget cut after budget cut until another rut happened. About 20 years later. The Manning alone would be a nightmare. It'd be awesome, Victory. It'd be awesome. It's doable. That's what bothers me so much about the damn shuttle. The shuttle was built to be able to do that, and they never did it. We didn't rise to the occasion. You know, I always say that the Saturn V was cut down in its prime, right? Saturn V was operational. Operational avenue right to the surface of the moon, and then we're like, no. The shuttle didn't even have a chance to get to its prime. It was doomed from the start. The second we said just build the vehicle and figure out the missions later in 1972, the second we did that, we basically killed any and all incentive inadvertently to scale missions, to try and launch it more. That basically killed any incentive right from the start. So why do you think the shuttle style is never coming back? What do you mean? Making something like the space shuttle? There's other ways to do it. Starship could do it. Anyway, I'm I wanted to see if we can develop the bracket for this thing. So, let me think about how we're going to do this. Language issues. I need to improve a little your English a little bit to completely understand, but definitely interested in what you're talking about. Manuel, long story short, the shuttle was awesome and could have been as good as Falcon 9. It could have been. But Challenger, muerto. Not good. Thanks for the conversation and patience. It's all good, man. I'm thinking about how we're gonna do this. You know what? Let me go see if my shuttle transport vehicles, we still have that. Let's go in here. It would be 922 backup here. Proto 1, full stack Proto. Condor 9. CTS support vehicle. Booster recovery ship. Wait a minute. What the hell is that? Here, let's grab some of this equipment from another save. For some reason, I feel like we've already done this. What? I've made a mate demate device in the past, dude, but I've never tried to do the thing that I want to do. I want to see if we can pick the shuttle up and rotate it 90 degrees. Do SSDOs exist in real life, and are we actively exploring reasons to use them, or do we mostly prefer rockets? We've tried to do SSDOs in the past, Toasty, but the problem is that there's such an established industrial base around building stage vehicles that it's unlikely to happen. SSDOs would take too much investment to be anywhere near competitive because that type of propulsion, frankly, doesn't exist. Now, I would make the argument that it absolutely does, and we'd be stupid to not leverage that technology for something like that. But what do I know? I think SSTOs get a very bad rap, but they get a bad rap just because we're so familiar with doing a staged vehicle design at this point. Fast forward, would you mine on the belt if you could? Yeah, maybe. Nate, how's progress? I just got started. We've been having a lot of good space conversations in here. I built an SSTO, actually, a little while back, dudes. Back in August last year. You want to see it? I'll show you. Yeah, Tim's video on SSTOs. Yeah, it's not bad. It's okay. Pretty good. I mean, I say pretty good relatively. Pretty much everything that Tim does is really good. He has better videos. There are videos that he's released that I like more. Let me put it like that. Support vehicle 6. That's a van. Okay. That's the transportation vehicle. Have you ever tried to build a rocket yourself? In real life? No. Problem with SSDOs is garbage payload mass fraction. If employed in scale rocket guy, it could be competitive. Oh, what the frick. It's my boat. Neither of those are what I want. Okay. Yeah, you can make boats in Kerbal as well. We had our boat phase. Jeez, look at all this stuff. Oh my goodness. That's no boat. It's a submarine. Don't tell them about the helicopter phase. That was a good time. Ah, there it is, the Kometo. Excellent. Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Any boat can be a submarine at least once. Condor was really cool. Yeah. What is this? That's a boat that's designed to go and fish my space shuttle boosters out. I heard somewhere that Starship Upper Stage would work as an SSTO. Yeah, it could SSTO itself into space, probably, Nate, but with no payload.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Which effectively renders it useless, which is what Rocket Guy is talking about. The mass fraction is terrible for an SSTO. Victory! 70 months. Thanks, buddy. Ah, yeah! Look at this thing. Nice! That's freaking sweet. Thanks, dude. This is awesome! Cool. What's this? I don't remember you building it. Shuttle transporter. First thing we need to do is be able to move the thing around. So let's go back to the Block 1C. B1C lift bracket. Here we go. Imagine being a seasoned vet for flying SSDOs in 40 plus years. We had a program like that, Toasty. We decided to not do it because at the first sign of trouble, they pulled the plug on the program because, most likely, because some politician was trying to protect the shuttle program. True story. They use the old tried and tested political speak for "we don't have the budget for this," which is funny because they still say that crap to this day. What was the name of the program? X-33? Yeah. All right. Hey, Rain, taps on screen. Rocket Man, make rockets. I'm working on it.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yes. I don't make rockets, I make shuttles. Okay. Alright, so we don't need that. We don't need those. Yeah. So we need to take these pieces. Can we absolute snap? Okay. So these are the guide pegs that will hold this thing in position. If we take these things, right, we do that, and then we click off the screen, click back on the screen, right, and then go in here like this. Hit enable same vessel right there, and like that. And then we're going to need to run a strut here. Just a bracing strut for testing systems. Yeah, baby. All right, cool. Look at that. That's pretty neat. All right, so the first thing we got to do is be able to roll the shuttle around so we can roll it to a crane or whatever. Did you ever make an X-37B equivalent? I remember the Dreamcatcher, but it's not quite the same. Never did something exactly like that. No. All right, let's see how this thing holds up. Me? I would love to see a 225 size SSDO take off. Why didn't we keep funding the program? Well, the X-33, believe it or not, was not a horizontal takeoff. It was a vertical takeoff. Vertical takeoff, horizontal landing, like the space shuttle. But it could fly by itself. It just takes off. That's it. It just flies up into space. The X-33 was a subscale demonstrator. If you look at this render from the early parts of the program, the X-33 is right there, and the X-33 would have been a subscale demonstrator. Think about, it would have worked basically similar to how SN-15, the Starship test flight program from, a couple years ago, doing suborbital hops, testing the SSDO, the SSDO's capability. That's what it would have done. The X-33 would have led to the full-scale variant of this project called Venture Star. Venture Star is a vehicle that is a single stage to orbit vehicle. It has a payload bay That's about 2/3 the size of the space shuttle's payload bay. And can move about half as much up as the space shuttle. Did I ever build the X-33 in KSP? Yeah, I did. I did. Oh. Yeah, it's probably not good for the arm, huh? You missed that project, even if it is a pain in the butt? Hang on a minute. Yeah, I don't. EJ was so frustrated. Hey, man. We can say whatever we want, but the cataclysmic collapse of my single stage to orbit launch program basically led to hybrid tech. I wouldn't have found a solution. I wouldn't have found that solution if I didn't decide to take a hiatus from Kerbal for a little while. So, I mean, take the good with the bad, I suppose. Man. This would work great except for the stupid arm. Yeah, see, this is a shuttle transporter. This is used to move around the space shuttle when it's back on the ground. As you can see, I've already attempted to do something like this in the past. So a failed SSDO project led to useful information used on other programs. Don't remind me. All right, that works with the exception of the robotic arm staying in place. That's set to a root part auto strut. Are one of these servos not locked? Yep, there's the problem right there. Okay. So Nader, did I do it? Yeah, here, let me show you. Give me a second. Take a look. Now notice it has a tow vehicle, right? Notice it has a tow vehicle. The reason why it has a tow vehicle is because I could take this thing, land it on the runway, tow it back over to the launch pads, attach it to another system, and launch it again. I didn't just build the launch vehicle. I built the entire launch complex. Reusable pad. See? All you got to do is slide the launch box, rotate it up into position, reattach, line up the pins, reattach the docking port, attach the transporter erector, or just the erector, turn the whole thing upright, refuel it, send it. I've just been wondering, are those fuel cell arrays making the engine plate? Flags. Nader, you want to know how I have such a fundamental understanding of systems engineering? That. That's not the only one. I used to tell people when we were in the heyday of doing this stuff, I don't just play Kerbal Space Program. I build space programs in KSP. That's what I would tell people. Now, that's my X-33 variant. Just like the X-33, we had a scaled up variant. The LV-5B1 Venture Star, 36-ton payload capacity SSTO with a gigantic honking payload bay up top. I remember Condor and that pad. Yeah, or no. Did you see what I sent you? I did. Now, Nader, I didn't just scale up the vehicle. Look at this. Did I get that thing to orbit? Yep. Yeah, I did. Actually, believe it or not, the problem isn't the SSTO. That thing, I could never get its pad to work correctly. Too many GSE issues. Proving that building the launch pads is sometimes way more complicated than building the vehicle, which is 100% right. The machine that launches the machine is often more complicated than the machine itself. Interestingly enough.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I'd love to start this up again, dude. I'm lucky to get a rocket into orbit in KSP. How many hours do you have in KSP? 20,000? Maybe. We build space programs, dude. This isn't even including all the buildings that I built for this, all the facilities that I built out, all the cranes, payload reintegration equipment, everything. Here, I'll show you real quick. Here. Let's start right here. See, there's the small one with its prototype pad, and then I decided to build out the pad a little bit more. I decided to build out the pad and do its own thing. Dude, I would make recovery helicopters, lift helicopters, sky cranes to go retrieve equipment. This launch, I towed the vehicle to the pad, used a payload crane to put a payload in it, and launched the payload for my career mode save. See? And landed it, took the payload dispenser out, put another one in, launched it again. No vehicle recovery, nothing. I landed it, towed it back to the pad, put it through a processing flow, launched it again. This is why I understand the architecture space program so well. I've spent 20,000 hours in KSP figuring this stuff out from scratch because I didn't know how to do it. You ever tried putting a mining colony on every planet and moon? Not every single planet and moon, no. Pad should still work. This was me towing a mass simulator for the large pad, testing out the large pad. My problem with this thing, Twisted, was that I couldn't get the pad to hold up the fully fueled SSTO. I couldn't get it to do it. I couldn't get it to do it reliably before Kerbal just decided to explode. This was me using a mass simulator, right? And this part worked just fine. I could turn the whole vehicle upright. Now, guys, I don't know if you're see the scale here, but see those landing gear, those are the biggest landing gear pieces, those are the biggest landing gears in the game. All right, so that's these things right here. This is that pad. This is that pad design. And I rolled this thing up to it, right? To try and get it to see if I could turn it. And it does work. It works fine. It just, see, I didn't get all the kinks worked out. And sometimes you could launch. Sometimes one or two times I got this thing to do it. I got it to work. It did damage the hell out of the pad on that launch because I didn't have my separation sequence configured correctly. It also was noted that this was in a career save. Yep. Yeah, no wonder KSP2 doesn't... Yeah, see, yeah, hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, there's... This style of gameplay is basically not a thing in KSP2, which is why I'm like... Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I got bored of hitting spacebar, watching something launch into space and getting it up there and going and landing on the moon for first. I got bored of that probably about, I don't know, 10 years ago. So I figured out other ways to keep pushing Kerbal to the limit. See, this, it's holding it up just fine. But sometimes when you would load fuel into it, you'd start bending the pad, the launch box. Oh, but when it worked, oh baby, it was a monster. 36 tons up or down, no problem. Fully reusable vehicle. Tow it right back to the pad, put a new payload in, turn it upright, launch it. One of the hardest things we've ever done in this game. Yeah, that's why the trucks have jet engines, because they needed to push this thing up the hill. And then when the launch box can't handle the load anymore, that happens. Can it take off from a runway? No, it's not designed to do that. Yeah, see, this is the smaller one with bigger payload integration. This is when I decided I needed to make more money because the big one, losing the pad and the SSTO on the pad cost me about 1.2 million Kerbucks. Yeah, it happened once, so I switched back to using the small one so we could do some missions and make some profit. Small one works actually pretty well. There's the fueling menu open, right? There's all the satellites that I used to launch with the small one, right? There's the entire launch complex built out with the reintegration crane. This crane can actually move back and forth, and it uses the outsides of the pad as a track to move back and forth. So I can put the thing, I can attach it horizontally to the launch box, move the crane into position, pick up payload, put new payload in, move it out of the way, rotate the vehicle back up. That was the whole pad working. This is the smaller one. The smaller one, yeah, we really never had many problems with the thing. It's just by the time I built up enough funds to give this thing another test flight, it actually worked that time. That was pretty good. And then I went to reuse the dang thing. The small one we actually did some pretty damn good work with the small one. But the problem is that the small one, for all that mass, it only has about 1,000 kilos to orbit. It can't do any more. Like the mission margins are so damn tight. This thing is 36 tons. The other one is about 1,000. Yeah, see, that's the big one doing work. I had it work on we had a couple of successful missions with it. Yeah, there it is again. Man, I actually did launch this thing a lot, didn't I? And that was the last time it ever launched. After this, I towed the thing back over to the pad, and I figured out that there was fatigue problems on the launch box. Kerbal likes to bend parts, especially if you reuse something. And that one blew up on the pad and blew up the pad and bankrupted my entire space program. Yep. Did you ever finish Mechazilla? Yes and no, Monastery. The one that I redid, no. I had to go back to launching stick rockets after that, and then... Yeah, we went back to launching the Freedom rocket, and that's when I said, I'm done. What's the most difficult type of orbit you've achieved? I don't know, man. I don't know. We did something cool around the moon one time. Trying to mimic a rectilinear halo orbit with patched conics. How's that? Toasty, yeah. Pretty cool, huh? We made the Rainbow Road. We made Rainbow Road in KSP. Bum 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 ba da ba 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 da bum bum ba 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 bum 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 bum. The blue shell is a Mario Kart's ultimate weapon. It magically finds the leader in the race and it takes him out. How's that, huh? Pretty cool, huh? No Lagrangian points unless you get mod, Zimbo. Have you seen the Mario movie? No. I'd say that one takes the cake. Let's be honest though, the lunar architecture with the SSDOs would have been awesome. I don't know how the heck I would have figured that one out, Jax. Yeah, that would have been crazy. I think even me would probably prefer a regular rocket here. Nader, I ain't done, dude. That's not the only stuff we've done in this. Man. Why not pick CTS-5 back up and get lunar architecture going? Maybe. Here, you want to see the SSTO that I was designing before we started playing Starfield? Look at that. Isn't that nice? That's pretty neat, right? Do you guys like that one? SERV. Yep. It's got a party hat. In terms of KSP2, what do you wish the most to come to the game? Colonies is going to be pretty fun. Oh yeah, Twisted. SERV was you. That's right. Yeah, I remember now. That was like right when you first started popping around, dude. I remember that. Or at least I noticed. Give me 1 second. I don't know if I've ever showed you this before, but oh, nice, Nader. All right, cool. How do you think colonies will work? I don't know. It's a replica of Pad 39A, complete with the HIF. Pretty good. There's a crew access arm up there if we can figure out a way to see it. Yeah, see it up there? Have you ever built Starship-like systems? Yeah. Nader, over the years, I used this to figure out how processing flows work for space programs. It made me able to analyze what a company is doing, like SpaceX or NASA, a lot better. That and I had input from industry, dude. I've worked on tons of projects like this where I've spent months building this out and trying to figure it out, learning basically from scratch. This is why I have such good analysis on stuff. And like why I know a lot about systems engineering because of this. Starship-like stuff. So... give me one moment. There's this. The Grissom, my cause. There's this. The thing about building a starship is that there's no real payload bay in the stock KSP that's going to work. Have you tried Falcon Heavy? Long time ago, Nova. I even landed twin boosters and expanded the center core. True story. What was that bullet bill looking thing you had? A long time ago, that was I used that to deorbit upper stages. Long time ago. Do you think Starship will simply get a larger door? I think SpaceX would be out of their mind to not give it a payload bay door system like the shuttle, so doors that open up sideways. So like a payload bay that opens up, the door starts here, it goes all the way up to right in front of the header tanks and opens up, and giving it a shuttle-style payload integration bay. I think that would be ridiculous for them to not do that. All right, ready? So the key here is to do the belly flop, which is a little bit difficult to get right. But if you nail it, you basically have to watch your surface velocity relative to your climb rate. Your climb rate has to be pretty much the same. If it's not, then you're going to start flying the dang thing, and that's not what you really want with this. Really don't want to be flying this thing around. Uh-oh. I forgot how to fly the thing. What do you want me to do? Yeah, that's basically what you want to not happen. Yeah, whatever happens, happens. Don't tip. If I shut off the SAS, it'll probably tip. Don't tip. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. You're all right. You'll be fine. Don't break. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We gotta get back to shore. Guys, we need to ask Elon, am I doing this right? Oops. When the game stops like that, that usually means something broke. It did not like getting beached. Oh, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure the Kraken isn't angry at us at all. The flowers are still standing. So, yeah, have I made stuff like Starship? Yeah. Well, yeah. Bedtime for you? All right, man. Yeah. Perfection. Another safe landing. Actually, you know what? I kind of started with the intention of playing, like trying to do integral SRB vehicle today. But you know what, man? The more and more I think about this, I don't think I have the prowess to tackle that kind of project right now. You know what project we could tackle? We could build a launch pad out for a vehicle that never even got its due. Now, a lot of you guys like Condor 9 from back in the day. Oh, God, my voice is going again. This is ridiculous. A lot of you guys like Condor 9 from back in the day. I made a sequel to Condor 9. I made a sequel to it. I gotta find it. Here it is. I made a sequel to this vehicle called Project Ares MLV, Medium Launch Vehicle. This is Condor 9. Actually, well, technically it's Condor 7, but whatever. If I was going to make a follow-up to the Condor program, that's what it would be. Technically, it's Condor 7. I built this thing to be able to be reused. It is 100. The first stage is 100% reusable. The second stage and payload fairing are not. But it has Falcon 9's landing legs, believe it or not. Yep. And all the integration points for a launch pad. So you could theoretically build and fly these things a bunch of times. We could work on this tomorrow if you want. I could do it. This thing, Condor 7, is an amazing vehicle. It moves about 18 tons into space. Ted Kennedy, greetings from Austria. Watching with your girlfriend and enjoying the stream. Hallo, mein Freunds. Wie geht's? What's going on? How are you? How are things? You use a lot of fairings to make shapes like that. I need to try this technique out. Fairings are great. You should build out what you think NASA should do going forward. What kind of missions are you thinking for it? I don't know. Well, I'll be honest with you, I haven't even thought about that. I haven't even thought about what type of missions we would do. I don't know. I'm just so far out of the gates, you know. It might be better to just start with a small sat launcher, you know. Astrobotic. It's going to re-enter soon. What's that? It'll go right to your thighs and then you'll blow up. As expected, Astrobotic lost telemetry with the Peregrine spacecraft around 3:50 Eastern Time. Well, this indicates the vehicle completed its controlled re-entry over open water in the South Pacific at 4:04. Lander not found. We await independent confirmation from government entities. Tune in tomorrow, January 19th, for immediate teleconference at 1 p.m. Eastern Time when we provide a post-flight update and answer questions from the media. You can stream this teleconference on NASA's YouTube channel. All right, well, we got something to do at 1 tomorrow. How do you control your second stage into orbit while also controlling the landing of your first stage? You want to see? You want to see? I could show you. Ted Kenny going pretty good. Love the nerdiness on so many levels. Yeah, man. Have you ever built something like the Endurance from Interstellar? Yeah, of course. I could launch MLV. Give me 1 second. But here, let me show you. I don't know, dudes. It's been so long. Like, starting another project, I find myself hesitating to do it. You know? But, yeah, it's okay. Oh, where is that ship that we worked on? Where is it? That one ship that we worked on that we were going to grand tour with, guys. I forget. I forget where it is. Have you tried building the event horizon? No. Yeah, there it is. Endurance. This thing. The endurance. Yeah. Dude, I forgot about this one. Tiger, some of your mechanic is working miracles. My F-350 named Trailbreaker has been running well despite Mother Nature wanting to put it back in the shop. The Endurance Project. Star Raker, I engineered it out, Cosmo, that it could make it into space. It takes an hour and a half to fly it up into space. That's the problem. Have I built something like that? Here. This is kind of close. This is endurance. Yep, endurance. This thing is an absolute monster. Did you get the Kraken ship working from a while ago, the one that kept destroying itself? Was this the fastest thing you've made? For the most part, yeah. This ship can boogie. Let me put it to you like that. Yeah. What did we put in here? Oh, nothing. What about the engine room? Oh, yeah. All right. What's the empty space there for? It's a space, it's a dock, space dock. It's a grand tour vessel, Tigris. Yeah, Doom, that seems to be all that I've been doing lately, but that's kind of the way that I'm reintroducing myself into KSP 1, because I haven't played it in a really long time. The last time we played it and really played it a lot was like last August. Been playing Cities, Starfield, Kerbal 2, Booster landing from AX3 loud. Cool. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here, let's see the landing from AX3. This is just from a user on the Twitterers. Mike Wallace. NDE Inspector. That's SpaceX. Non-destructive equipment. Oh, wow. Alright, let's see if we get the rumble. Headphone users. Headphone users. Headphone users. You've been warned. You have 10 seconds to comply. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Bruh. My boy, frick yeah. Dude, did we call it? Look at the thing turn into the headwind. That's awesome. Wait a minute. Where did he take this video from? I understand that he's close, but the guy works for SpaceX. Mike works for SpaceX, and now so we see that, right? So let's take a look. What does he have in the background here? So that's Slick 36. Water towers on the left side, 2 service towers on the right. So he's north of the landing pad. Landing pad is over here. Let's look at the most updated pictures. Water tower on the left side, 2 towers on the right. That's where it landed. And he's, I don't know, a good ways away. Complex 34. That's got to be from 34. Either that or it's from Relativity. Relativity's pad here at LC-16. But LC-16 is awfully close. Yeah, that's less than a mile away. Unless you have some pretty hardcore hearing protection, I wouldn't want to be that close. You can see a waterway. So there's a drainage culvert. I'm just wondering. Okay, so it can't be 34. That's Firefly's launch pad. That's 16. 16 has the drainage culvert. Yeah, okay. Are there any other drainage culverts between them and the pad? No. Is there any other drainage culverts this way? No. He's watching from Relativity's pad from LC-16. That's cool, man. That's really freaking close. That's really freaking close. There's one before that one. Boop. I'm thinking it's that one right there. I wanted to see if he was watching from here, but yeah, dude, that's really freaking close. That's awesome. I would watch from there. That's really freaking cool. Oh yeah, this thing. Why is it the double sound of the sonic boom? Different parts of the vehicle breaking the sound barrier, dude. So, what is endurance? Spaceship with a dock in the back. Good night, buddy. What you're looking at here is the engine room. The Endurance does not use conventional propulsion. Think like in the Expanse. The Expanse, you have regular propulsion, but then you have your Brachistochrone trajectory drive made by Solomon Epstein. Engine room. Oh yeah. Watch. Wait for it. Give it a second. Give it a second. Just gotta wait for the drives to engage more. Come on, baby. There we go. Ion thrusters? No. No, no. Here, maybe we can give it a little conventional propulsion. Oh, yep, we're gonna die. No! No! Run! Oh, God! It's gonna break. She's coming apart at the seams, Captain. We can't take much more of this. This is fine. My ship's just coming apart. This is fine. Oh, she's still working. She's still good, dudes. We just... I guess we didn't need that. The drive is really mad. We took a number on the damage. We're all right. We're still flying her. It's fine. Go fly, you mother trucker. Oh my God. Okay, there's just a piece over there. Oh, balls. Mach 1. Come on, Hull, hold together. Hold together. Hold together. Nope. Nope. It doesn't like that. What's cracking? What's... Uh-oh. Get down. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's that. Yep, nope, it didn't like that. Yeah, that was expensive. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, this is not good. Don't worry, guys. If you're on the flight deck, everything is fine. You just ignore all the other parts of the vehicle that's falling down around you. That was, yep. Monka's. Yeah, we should probably parachute out of this. Put your helmet on. Eject. Oh, crap. Where's the other part? Where's the other part with the person? Oh, balls. Come on. Where'd you go? There. Get out. Quick. EVA, you mother... Parachute! Oh. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the Here we go. Now what? Nothing wrong with me. 2. Nothing wrong with me. 3. Nothing wrong with me. 4. Nothing wrong with me. Anyway. Here we go. What about the other one? Where's the other Kerbal? Oh, alright. She's alright. She's cool. What? I can count to 1, 2. I can count to 2, 3. I can count to 3, 4. I can count no more. What comes after 1, 2? What comes after 2, 3? What comes after 3, 4? I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. So the Endurance is a Grand Tour ship. It has a drive that breaks the physics in the game and allows you to accelerate infinitely as long as you want by crushing landing gear inside of a landing gear bay. Yeah, I can go anywhere. I can get to... We could get to Elu basically in real time. One stream, no time warp, provided I could get the damn ship up into space. The problem, one of the problems that I had with the Endurance project is that it kept doing that. No. Still blowing up, huh? Oh. Oh, there's one of the drives. Yeah. Oh, it's still on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, we can revert. Why are parts just randomly exploding? They're hitting the ground and stuff. They're hitting the ground and stuff. But yeah, that's the Endurance. It is designed to basically go anywhere, land on any planet, go wherever you need. It's a gigantic Kerbal colonization ship. It has regular fuel on board for regular engines, but the Kraken drive room is in here. That was an awesome ship. It basically has a space dock in the back, so ships can basically fly in through here and dock at 4 berths on the back of this thing. Or, simultaneously, you could land it down on the surface and you have ladders that get down, where you could egress down. Endurance is an awesome ship. Really awesome. Doesn't like flying very fast, though. Probably asked a million times before, what kind of black magic does the Kraken drive use? Crush landing gear inside of a payload bay. Want to see? I can show you. I'll show you the secret sauce. Here, how about yeet brick? Yeah. That is the right thing. That's the drive. Give me 1 second. My voice is going, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Oh. Well, this one would work too. This crushes landing gear with a grip pad. Watch this. I don't know where the aircraft carrier craft file is passing. I'd have to go get it. And stuff seems to want to be in the water anyway. How much is KSP? Oh, I don't know. It's not that expensive. It's 12 years old, man. It's an old game. So, you want to see how strong a Kraken drive is? Watch this. Each one of these tanks weighs 100 and... No. 244 tons. We're at 1153. want to see what a Kraken drive can do with just 6 landing legs? Watch this. This is 1,000 tons of vehicle, guys. Watch. When you compress the landing gear past maximum travel here, there's no bump stops on this game for your suspension, so it starts to freak out. And when you compress it, well, it started to move it, but you get the idea. That drive sucks. The landing gear bay is way better, but you get the idea. It could lift it. Sorry, Dr. Death. Oh yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault. Same way you flip a tractor in MSC. That's right, dude. Anyway, guys, my voice is starting to go. I don't want to push it too much coming off of being sick, so I'm going to stop a little bit early tonight. There is a Starlink 711 launch tonight. Yeah. But I think we'll review that in the morning. I can't... If my voice starts to go, if we go for another couple hours tonight and I screw something up, all that's going to do is make tomorrow's stream useless. So I don't want to get too crazy with this, but I did enjoy covering Axiom with you guys. That was fun. It's a good mission. Like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell button. But yeah, voices. If my voice goes, I'm basically boned. Starlink 711 is launching at 11 tonight. We'll see if it actually launches at 11. But thank you for watching, guys. We'll figure out more what we want to do in KSP over the next couple of weeks, I think. We'll figure out exactly what we want. I think I got an idea what I want to do, but EJ is approaching very white deep. That's right. In the meantime, let's see. No, that just sounds like I'm forcing it. In the meantime, we'll see if we can go raid. Alright. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that this thing doesn't get too screwed up. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Oh, Etal's playing Hearts. I want to play Hearts, but we're playing Kerbal.
Search is done.
Hello, Etal. He's doing that over there. Let's go give him a raid. Alex is an excellent streamer. He's usually the streamer that I relax to at night. You're making bell peppers and beef without the beef. Spike. Dinner's on. Your favorite, bell peppers and beef. Nice. Have a good night, guys. All systems. I'll see you a little later tonight. Yeah, we'll get that stuff done. All right, dudes. Go see what Etal's up to. I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. I can't get anywhere if this doesn't work. So I'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.